This is Digital Champions TV. I'm Greg Kirkham, and today I'm joined by Brian Aleksivich, CEO and owner of the Lots Project, based in Decaturville, Tennessee. Brian, welcome to the show, my friend. It's great to have you.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, so let's dive right in. First, how did you get started in the industry, and what led you to create the Lots Project?
My wife and I actually just decided to get out of Minnesota. We were living in Minnesota, building a homestead, and got sick of the weather and decided to retrofit an RV and hit the road. And as we did that, we had to kind of rebrand, and the Lots Project was born, initially standing for living outside the system, where we're off grid. We kind of do our own thing. We don't ask permission for a whole lot of stuff and try to figure out how to do what we want any way we can. So that's how the Lots Project was born. It's kind of developed over the years into a bunch of different things.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, and what an origin story too, right? It's kind of escaping from the norm, getting into the norm, huge quotation marks overhead, right? By really leaning into what's available to you and getting a lot of freedom in the process, right? By being able to separate yourself from a lot of the things that people would consider the norm, like what I was talking about earlier, right? So what are some of the things that you've learned building the Lots Project and really leaning into creating this?
Chase what you're thinking. Give it a try. I subscribe to the spaghetti method, where you throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. That was kind of the approach we took with our farm. Kind of built everything up and saw what we enjoyed doing, threw away what we didn't like to do, and pursued the things we liked more. And that's kind of what we're doing on the road. I'm lucky enough that my wife is able to work full-time remote in the camper, and it's given me opportunity to kind of dabble in a bunch of different areas and find what I really enjoy doing the most.
Wow. So what's one piece of advice that you would give someone before they ever get started in this?
Just do it. Don't wait. It really is unfortunate when someone does finally take the step and they get rolling with something, they enjoy it, they're building something, and they wish they had started earlier, maybe wish they had started when they had thought about it originally.
Yeah, so really, if you have the inclination to get started in this or be able to explore this, right, pursue it. Don't hesitate.
I think anything, really.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think, for the most part, our brains are wired to work toward what's best for us in many ways, right? And so, or what we feel the most inclination or draw to, right? But if we're constantly second guessing ourselves, or if we're constantly backing away from those things, we kind of hold ourselves back quite a bit, I'd say.
I think if people are sitting around and they're thinking there's a better way, if they're at their job, even if they're a small business owner or entrepreneur and they're sitting there, there's got to be a better way. There is. You just have to find it. And if you're already contemplating that, you should probably pursue it pretty hard, because you're just wasting time building.
Yeah, 100%. So, Brian, if somebody were trying to get in touch with you or learn more about you, what would be the best way to reach you?
They can go to thelotsproject.com, LOTS project.com. You can find all sorts of ways to contact me. All my social media is there. Like I said, as this is kind of developing, it's gone in a bunch of different directions. We have a lot of things rolling out in 2025. We're working on a property here in Tennessee that we're turning into an education center. Dealing with off-grid projects, permaculture type things, homesteading, all things off-grid living, basically. So we'll be having classes there. We'll list those at my website and then a few other places. But the easiest way to get in touch with me is head to thelotsproject.com and send me a message.
Perfect. Hey, thank you so much for coming on, Brian. And to learn even more about Brian Aleksivich and the Lots Project, visit dailynewsnetwork.com.